Blessings, good evening on this warm summer's evening in Melbourne. We'll begin with some quiet meditation. So please find a comfortable posture on your seat, either on the floor or on a chair. Close your eyes if that helps to cut out visual distraction. Remind yourself not to listen to sounds if you can, to let go of the sounds. Bring your attention inwards to your mind, your body, as it is right here, right now. Our teacher said when we're meditating, we're developing this quality. In the Thai language they say that the one who knows, or the quality of the knowing, which is like this objective knowing without getting involved with things, just training the mind to know or witness itself and the experience of the body, thoughts, feelings and so on. And that takes some practice. So we practice mindfulness of breathing to develop this quality of knowing using the breath as an object. So take a few deep breaths perhaps to establish awareness on the feeling of the in-breath and the out-breath at the tip of your nostrils. When your mind is aware of the in-breath or aware of the out-breath, then that's where this quality of awareness or knowing is. But when you start following the thoughts, the trains of thoughts, memories, listening to sounds and wondering about them, thinking about the future, thinking about the past, when your mind loses it, then you're no longer with the quality of knowing. Now you're with the qualities of the distractions of mind, what we call the 5 hindrances: sensual desire, ill will, sloth, torpor, restlessness and anxiety, skeptical doubt. These are 5 areas that the meditator has to deal with, 5 kinds of obstacles or hindrances. And they can be very brief, popping up to interrupt your train of awareness, your mindfulness practice. Or they can keep reoccurring when you have a strong mood. Say for instance when you're worried about something. Whatever else you do, you keep worrying, keep thinking about that problem, that issue. Can't put it down, can't let it go. And perhaps you can't know the breath at that moment or that time because you keep worrying. But our aim is to bring up the quality of awareness, mindfulness, direct it to know the body and the mind in the present moment. So in terms of the mind, whatever's arising, just to know it as it is. So say you have a thought of worry, to know that, oh, there's worry. What we tend to do is add on to the suffering of the experience by saying, well, I'm worrying, I'm no good, I can't meditate because I'm worrying. Or we just get lost in the thoughts about the issue, the problem that we're worrying about. And on it goes. But see also if you can just bring up enough mindfulness maybe just to know that you're worried. You can't stop it maybe, you can't let it go yet, but you know, oh, this is what my mind is experiencing right now. You might call this half awareness, half mindfulness. So you know you're worried, you can't stop it, but you know what's going on. And you just watch. you observe. Sometimes you can ask yourself, how long will it last? This state of mind I'm experiencing right now. If you're worrying about something, well, how long am I going to worry? Is it 1 minute, 5 minutes, 30 minutes? And then you watch. You watch and see how long it lasts before your mind changes. It starts picking up something else to think about, or falls asleep, or just moves to a different object. And you'll learn about your mind. When we have a mental state bothering us or holding our attention, stopping us from being with the breath, and it's occupying the mind, we tend to switch off, just assume that's how we are. I am worried, at this time I'm worried. And so we don't investigate or look very closely at what's going on. But now that you're meditating, even if you're unable to stay with the breath, just making that effort to come back to the breath will help reveal whatever else is going on in your mind. So if you're worried, for example, you'll start to know that, there's worry. Keep thinking about that thing, keep going to that one thing. But look and watch. Maybe there'll be a break in the trains of thought about the issue that you're worrying about. Maybe there'll be a moment when you think of something else, totally unrelated, or that is just on a different track. There'll be a break in the worry, and then maybe later you start picking up the worry again. But if you're following along with mindfulness, maybe you can see that, you notice that. The worry was there, then it stopped, and now I'm worrying again. It may seem like on the surface you're just worrying for hours and hours and hours, but as you meditate and your mindfulness improves a bit, you can see, I worry, but the worries are just different trains of thought. Maybe there's some feeling of tension or discomfort in the body as well. But it comes and goes. Things change. You may learn from that when you're meditating and see, it comes and goes. Sometimes it's there, sometimes it's gone. And maybe after a while, you're trying to establish mindfulness, coming back to the breath many times. Eventually, what you're worried about or anxious about just disappears completely. You can say at that moment, if you're mindful and aware that it's gone, you say, it's impermanent. It's not self. It's gone. Because our mind rarely keeps thinking the same old thoughts all the time. Those thoughts will have a certain strength to them for a while. The emotion will come up, the feeling, the thought, the memory. But eventually things change, it will pass. And if you watch that and reach that point, and you can have some mindfulness there, some awareness, now it's changed. You'll learn something. You'll say, however much I was agitated, stirred up by that problem, it's only so much. It only lasted so long, now it's gone. And you know that. What you'll find is if you're still not very mindful, well, your mind will pick up something else to think about, get involved with. But still, you can learn that first problem you had, the worry, the agitation, if that's what you were experiencing, you can now say, it passed. It was temporary, it had a beginning, now it's ended, it's gone. And you learn about the impermanent nature of your mental states as you meditate. Learn from your direct experience. Because the one who knows, or the knowing, can see that. And you can apply that same insight to many other things. Worry, different kinds of desires, anger, frustration, sleepiness, doubt, all the different kinds of mental hindrances and different things we face when we meditate. Over time you get to see how temporary they are. Temporary mental states that arise and cease. And you can learn about yourself, your own mental activity that way. And that gives you a certain freedom. Whatever arises, you know it will pass away. And you may not even need to seek out any further distraction to get away from your suffering, which is often what we do, isn't it? When you're meditating and you're not peaceful, you're not happy in yourself, you start trying to think about things that distract you, make you feel good, or maybe you just quit the meditation and go off and try and do something else. But if you've seen the impermanent nature of all the disturbances of mind, these different thoughts and mental states, then you know you don't have to go off anywhere or seek out any other distraction. You can just watch with the one who knows. You just witness the arising and ceasing of suffering, and then it's gone. You don't add on to it, you don't make it worse, you just know it. Oh, it was like that. It was there for a while, now it's gone. So focusing on the breathing meditation is a very good way to see that, to see the changing nature of your moods, your emotions, your mental states. You keep returning to the breath, but at the same time you observe how thoughts come and go. You may not be able to stop things arising. You may not be able to stop your mind getting involved and distracted by different moods. But this half mindfulness, sort of 50% awareness, can still see or know, oh, it's impermanent. It'll change, it passes. This may give you some confidence and some inner strength to keep practicing, keep meditating more and more. So for the last part of this meditation, I'll be quiet and just see if you can maintain some mindfulness, watch your own mind using the breath as your anchor until you hear the sound of the bell.